Welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. We're live and it's Friday, so I'm very loud. With me is my friend Maggie from Refashioned Hippie. Everybody say hi.
I want an intro. That looked so good. I'm so dumb. I don't know how to do that. Like, that looks amazing.
I did it with Canva, and they actually have like
really?
templates to use. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm stealing that and claiming it as my own. Yay! Okay, that's awesome.
Hey, Doug is here. He's first.
Hi, Doug.
How did I know if it was you and me, he'd be here?
I know.
Christy's here. She's got us on the TV. Ew,
Oh,
I don't like when people put me on the TV. Can you see my boogers? All right, I'm going to be a little more goofy than normal in this video because this is Maggie and she's a freaking comedian. Hi, Karen. Karen's my friend that lives here. We do our eBay meetups together. OMG, love this girl's Instagram. Right, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Do you guys want to talk about her reselling business, her charity, or her Instagram first? Because we're going to cover both. And probably, if we have time, talk a little bit about true crime and horror movies. Yes. No. Let's start with what I ask everyone first.
Okay.
How did you become a reseller?
So I had a somewhat stressful job, and when I was pregnant, I got so sick that I just couldn't really work anymore. No, rural squirrel, we will not be talking about Balenciaga. I'm sorry. I know I should let you pick the comments. However, okay. But I got really sick, and it just felt unfair to make them pay me to sleep at my desk or puke. So I quit. I talked to my husband, I quit. And I still wanted to bring in some money, so I started selling on Poshmark, just like my old clothes. Mm-hmm. And I started to see that it had real potential. And I assumed that when I had my baby, I would go back to work. But then once I was like holding a tiny human, I was like, well, I can't leave this person ever. So I started to sell more aggressively. And the more I put into it, the more I got out of it. And I realized that I could actually make money on it. So I told myself, if I can make half of what I used to make working a 9-to-5 job and not have to pay childcare costs, then I'm going to say this is okay. And this is my goal. And honestly, I started using List Perfectly. And in the first month, my sales doubled. So I was like, okay, so this is a job now. And I really devoted myself to that the first 3 years of my daughter's life. And it grew and it grew and it grew. And I'm now making more than I used to make when I was working for people who aren't me in clothing that isn't pajamas. So I love what I do, and it just makes me really, really happy. And
what did you do before?
From the hippie part, like I am a giant hippie, and I love that this is all about recycling, but I'm sorry, I'm interrupting.
That's fine. I interrupted you. As it happens when friends talk, we get excited. What did you do before?
So I worked in thrift stores for about 10 years. And then when I moved to Maryland to be with my husband, I worked as, I sold homes for a new builder. And it was fun and interesting and just so outside of what I had done, but so incredibly stressful. And I'm going to be that person. But if you're interested in my retail journey, I wrote this book. Anyone who's worked in retail will know why it's called Why I Hate Everything. But this is all about what it's like to work in thrift stores. And once in a mall, which was probably my least favorite. But yeah, I had those days when I was working, selling homes where it was like, there's nothing to do for a week or everything happening all at once, you know? So it was.
Well, that's really gross. This thread, I'm deleting my comment.
Oh no.
I tried to link to your book and holy 50 million.
Well, they're on Amazon if you guys want them.
Yeah, I just saw that. It's on Unlimited.
Yes,
which I do have.
Free if you have Kindle Unlimited.
It is for free if it's Kindle Unlimited, and it's $3.49. Mm-hmm. And I really want to give a link to it, but I can't. So just look up Why I Hate Everything on Amazon, because every time I copy the link, I can't. So you did thrift stores, you did selling homes, you wrote a book.
I wrote 2 books. Yeah.
What's the other book?
The other book is The Clothing Reseller's Handbook, also available on Amazon. It's basic information that I think anybody who wants to sell clothing needs to have. So it has things like how to measure certain garments. And even there's like 40 pages of just the list of Anthropologie brands, because I've noticed if you list something as, little, it will not show up to buyers. But if you say this is Anthropologie, the specific brand is Little, then people are more interested. So it's just, I'm so sorry. I'm a little bit sick. Like it's information that I started writing down for myself, like the Chico's denim sizing, because by God, I cannot remember that. And I just made it into something that I think everybody can use.
And it's called?
Oh, I am so sorry.
What's the book called?
Oh, I'm sorry. The Clothing Reseller's Handbook. I'm so sorry.
I'm just sitting here like, okay, she'll tell me eventually.
Sorry, the Clothing Reseller's Handbook. Yep.
And that's also $0 if you have Kindle Unlimited. And just so you guys know, if you have Kindle Unlimited and you download her book, it will be on your phone if you need references at the thrift. Because I have Unlimited and I read my books while I'm in line at the thrift. I'm like, what's going on in my thriller?
And I can tell you, like, yes, I want your money, so please buy it. But I also still use it almost every day because there's just so much that we have to remember, like the difference between a dolman sleeve versus a batwing sleeve versus a bishop sleeve that a normal human being doesn't know, but we have to know it, you know?
Yeah.
That's it. I wrote that.
Yay. So, no, I agree with you. I have guides as well. They're not books that I sell on Amazon, but I do sell books on my website. And they're like PDF guides on how to tell the wash on jeans and the rise on jeans, and are they men's or are they women's? And with Plush, there's a lot to learn. And I keep them on here too. I have a pricing guide because I don't comp jeans anymore. I've memorized most brands unless it's a new to me brand. But I still sometimes haven't seen Hudson jeans in a year and a half. What the hell did I start those at? So I use my own guides every single day to look at sell-through rates. So, you know, when a reseller who's actually in the trenches doing the work writes the book, it says they use their own book and they're offering for free on Kindle Unlimited, or they're running a half off sale for Valentine's Day. What's this holiday this weekend? That's my small plug for myself. Our guides are half off right now. Then those are the people you want to trust. I just wanted to add that in real quick because I know that there's a lot of people out there who are writing the end all be all guide on how to make $1 million every single second on Amazon by selling this particular item. They're full of shit.
I can also tell you guys, if you ever want help, refashionedhippie@gmail.com. Just email me. Like I love what I do, and I love that I get to be a full-time stay-at-home parent and earn a full-time income. I completely mean that. And I'm never going to be one of those people who's like, I make $80,000 a day. Buy my guide to find out how. Like, no, like I legitimately want to help you in your business if you need help. So please email me. I will get back to you as fast as humanly possible. But I really do mean it. I wrote these to help, just to help.
And I am notoriously bad for answering messages and or emails. Yes. So if you want me, you got to join my Facebook group. If you tag me in there, I get back to you because it dings me on my phone. My email has approximately 5,000 unopened emails right now and 350 that come in every single day. And I try to do first in, first out, but you guys get buried. So you can also tell me, sometimes people just go on my Facebook group and say, I sent you a message on Instagram. I sent you an email. Hey, look who's here. Hi. My throat's dry too. You got me sick.
That's very possible. Yes.
No, I've been filming all day. I have vocal fry already.
I have a 4-year-old. She turns 5 on St. Patrick's Day.
Cool.
And like everywhere I take her, there's like some new disease that comes into the house. And she's fine in like an hour. I'm down for like a week. It's being a parent is so super fun. I'm waiting for her to start school and just bring home like Spanish flu or something.
Yeah, I missed it though. I'm an empty nester now. My kids will be 20 in May and
congratulations
23 in September.
Oh wow! Oh my
I'm
God,
old. So yeah, I do miss it. But there are times when I'm like, isn't it nice to just read 3 books on my day off because nobody needs me?
For me, it's that like I love listing. I actually really enjoy being able to like sit there and watch a movie and just do the computer work. But it's like I need juice. No, not that juice. No, in the unicorn cup, not in the princess cup. No, I was like, okay. Like it's the constant up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. So I never want to tell my husband, like, you get to go to work. But there are times where it's like, you get to go to work. You get to go to an office with human man, like adults. Just, yeah.
I remember when my boys were really small, the highlight of my week was when I got to go grocery shopping alone. Because I got to talk to other adults, like, well, even if it was just a lady ringing me out, I'm like, hi, you're an adult. I don't have my kids. Like this creepy woman, like, what are you doing?
I dress up to go to Giant. Like I have access to all of these amazing, beautiful outfits. And like, I'm not going to get fancy for Paw Patrol. So like when I go grocery shopping, I'm like to the nines. Like I look good because that's where I go.
That's your only day out. That's hilarious. Okay, so we started reselling because you were just sick from being pregnant. I was sick my whole pregnancies too.
No, it was awful.
Everybody said it was because it was a boy, but I'm like, I have friends who had girls who were. I mean, I was the second one, my youngest. Every day for 9 months, I was throwing up till I peed my pants.
Yeah,
and then I would cry because that's embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's normal, you guys. If you're throwing up that hard and having a person laying on your bladder.
I know where every bathroom within a 60-mile radius of my home is. Like,
yeah.
I
would take a sleeping bag and the pillow in the bathroom to sleep at night because it was just closer.
Just made sense. Yeah.
I remember that. So you started by selling your own stuff around your house, which seems to be a common theme with a lot of us. Mm-hmm. But unlike a lot of resellers and like me, you kind of just had to. You had no choice. A lot of people I have on here did the savings account and gradually built their business and then quit their job. I got hurt at work and became disabled and I had no choice. It was sink or swim, baby, because you can't work outside the house anymore.
Well, I mean, I also want to let you know, like, I have the best support system I could possibly have. Which again is why I'm not going to do the, like, here's how to make money. It works. Cause like I told my husband I didn't want to work anymore because I felt too sick. And he said, okay. And that's not a situation that a lot of people are in. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. But yeah, I was very, very fortunate. But I also think that I did scale my business really well because, you have to make certain investments and I am not a risk taker. But I think that I talked myself into doing things at the right time. And now with my social media stuff, same thing. It's like if I had tried that right in the beginning, I would have given up immediately because I wasn't good at it and I wanted to stop and I didn't have time for it. But making those decisions about when to start, selling on eBay as well, Mercari as well, Facebook as well, and then moving on to YouTube and Instagram. And yeah, those decisions have worked out really well for me, but I think I scaled up at the right time.
So you speak English because I don't. Are you doing more content creation or reselling or equal parts these days?
So content creation, I think, just because it's faster. I mean, making a long form video takes time. It's not, if it's a 20-minute video, it takes me about 2 hours because I'm also not the brightest. But when I do my reels, just the quick, like 30 to 60 second ones, I love those. I love them. They make me so happy. And it means so much to me that like people send me messages just saying like, I was having a really bad day and then I saw this and now I'm happy. And like, that means the world to me. And it just gives me such a big boost that it just, that just makes me feel so wonderful. So in terms of reselling, I make sure that I list at least one item every day on every platform just to keep myself up in that algorithm. I'm focusing more on where I make the most money. So I try to do 2 Posh shows a week on Poshmark because I have a pretty devoted audience that comes to that. But I would say the majority of output is content creation. The majority of time is still reselling.
And where do you source your items?
Donations. I enjoy going to thrift stores. I don't get to very often. but people know that 80% of what I make goes into my daughter's college fund, because when she's 18, I want to be able to pay for her college. I want her to just not be, $200,000 in debt when she starts her life on her own. 20% goes to my charity, Sanctuary Village. We're building a tiny house community for the homeless in the city of Philadelphia. And people know that, people love that. So plus I can tell you guys, and I absolutely mean this, if you just go up to a friend, go up to a neighbor and say, hey, I'm a reseller. This is the kind of item I'm interested in. Do you have anything? The answer will probably be yes. People, I say 90% of the people that I talk to will tell me like, oh, you know what? I have a bag in my trunk that I've been meaning to take to Goodwill for like 2 months. And not only will they give that to you, they will find other things in their house and they will thank you for taking them. I have been very surprised by that, but I'm very actively not showing you what's behind the camera right now because it's a lot of clothing. But I have a lot of stuff, and it's a lot of really good stuff, because when you tell people your story, when you tell them who you are and why you're selling, they want to help. They feel good helping. And I'd say about 90% of what I get is donations, and most of it's good. I mean, some of it, yeah, not great, or some of it's really boring, but when people are giving you something and they know she's going to open that as soon as she gets home, they're not going to give you garbage.
So I just got your book and I'm trying to see if I can pull it up on my Kindle on my computer to show them parts of it.
Well, I do have a chapter on how to talk to someone to get free inventory too. Or, well, I have an entire chapter about getting free inventory, but how to have that conversation with someone is in there too. Because that was big for me. I'm an introvert. I don't like talking to people.
I'm with you. Trying to do two things at once, and y'all can tell that doesn't really work out for me, right? So our records indicate you already borrowed it. Why is it not in my library, huh?
I have to say, it's so nice to see someone on the other side of this, because usually it's me who's like, I'll make this work. Don't you worry, guys. And meanwhile, I'm like, oh,
I'm stressed anymore. This is amateur hour. This is Flippin' Hippos, but we don't know what the hell we're doing. So here it is. It finally showed up.
This is why it's so nice to be among friends, though, because it's like, we can do this. It's okay.
Oh, no, it's. Read now. I usually read on my phone, y'all, so I don't know what the hell I'm doing on my computer. Okay, so we've got how to read this book. Why reselling? Oh, I liked it. So this will be a staple for me, and I'm going to go ahead and read it this weekend.
I can tell you it's also very short chapters because that is my attention span. But it's not something that you have to read front to back. Like, the whole point of it is whatever you need, that's what you can go look for.
Yeah, so this is really good. And again, it's how much is it if you don't have $16 paperback? How much is the ebook? $3.49.
$3.49, yeah.
And you probably want the ebook so that I don't even know how to get back over here. You probably want the ebook so you can have it on your phone.
It's a great reference piece. It really is.
You can get the Kindle app on your phone and then, just open it and look at Maggie's book. Oh, look, there it is. It's on the phone.
That makes me feel so cool. I'm sorry.
The phone next to Stephen King.
Oh, man. That makes me feel
there's a term for it. Is it an omnivert or an ambivert? Where I'm kind of like an introvert, but sometimes I'm an extrovert. I don't know.
Well, people tell me all the time, I mean, this is going to sound so conceited, but like, you must be so much fun to hang out with. And it's like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm not at all. Like, I want to like sit in my PJs and watch the X-Files. And like, if you're there, great. Don't talk to me. Like,
PJs.
Yes, I dressed up for you guys. I tried to look.
I dressed up on top.
But like, that's one thing that's great about social media is like, I control it. Like those 90-second clips that you see, it's like, I've edited that. It's great. Like, in person, as we can see, I'm a weirdo.
Well, I host a crafting party every week for List Perfectly's listening parties. And there was a newer-ish person in there Wednesday, and we're crafting and talking. And I was like, I hate everybody and everything. And she went, Star, no, you're so nice. Crickets. And like the other 10 people like kind of laughed and went, you notice no one else disagreed with her. But she's on YouTube. Yes, I'm on YouTube. And I do like to teach people and I like to hang out with people, but under my own circumstances. I like listing parties because I can have pajamas on the bottom.
Yes.
I like hanging out with people on my YouTube because I'm in my office, in my environment, with my drinks and my anxiety-free, on purpose situation. So, I do go to reseller events, but it takes me like 4 months to decompress and be a normal person after this. It really does.
I went to one and it took me about a month to convince myself to go. And like, I had so much fun and I learned so much and I met so many people, but even like, as I was telling myself that on the way out the door, I was like, I'll never do it again though. But that was great. Like, it's just, yeah.
I've done a lot and I'm pretty sure I'm done. I mean, I had said at the end of last year that nobody's having any this year, ironically. But I said to Keith at the end of last year, he really wants to go to London. And he leaves the house less than me. He actually has like social anxiety disorder. So like he can't be around people or he freaks out. So he's a little worse. Like I can at least go out and fake it like a serial killer. Like I can go out and like I'm a person. But he really wants to go to London. There's like the Harry Potter Museum and Doctor Who. We're huge nerds. So I said, well, the last 3 years I've gone to like 4 or 5 events every year. It stresses me out, gives me anxiety. I'm like, why don't I just take all the money I would have spent on the tickets, the airfare, and the hotels, and just create a separate account, and that'll be our London account. And then we can go to London, do something different and new. Because no offense, as much as I love all of y'all that I see at these events, it's the same events and the same people in the same hotel every year. I need to see something new before I die.
So we are huge nerds in my house, and my husband really wants to go to the new like Star Wars thing in Disney. And I'm like, great, go. like that's my vacation. Take my daughter and go. That would be wonderful. Like that's all I want is like, leave me alone with a credit card, a DoorDash account, and you go. You go.
You leave.
That's good.
Yeah, that's probably why. I always tell people, had I made different choices in life, I probably would have ended up being a forensic psychologist. What I love about true crime is the way their brains are different from ours. That's what fascinates me. I love to, you see the Green River Killer in an interview, and he talks about dumping bodies in a river the same way you and I would be like, well, I went to McDonald's yesterday and I took the trash out. Like they fascinate me. Maybe sociopaths and psychopaths fascinate me for a reason.
No, I told the same thing to my mom because she's like, doesn't it scare you to watch true crime stuff? And it's like, no, because that's happening. Like ignoring it isn't going to make me feel safer, but it's the exact same thing. Like Michael Phelps, his body was built for swimming. God built that man to swim. Like, and I think the same thing of a serial killer is like, that's just another human extreme. One is and should be celebrated. The other should be jailed. But it's still interesting to think like that's still a person who's doing those crazy, crazy things, but it is a completely different psychology.
They have chemically something different in their brains than we do that does not allow them to have empathy or emotions.
Much like the CEO of Balenciaga and all of the designers, apparently.
How we talk about Balenciaga. So you're still reselling. You do have a YouTube channel. You do your shorts on there as well, right? And your reels on Instagram. Are you on TikToks?
I am on TikTok, yeah. But I get paid on YouTube, so please go to the YouTube.
Yeah, I don't make content for Instagram ever since they stopped paying us.
Yeah.
I had Doug on the show for New Year's, and we were talking about that. And I said, if this makes me sound like an asshole, it is what it is. But when they stopped paying me, I stopped making content and I pivoted elsewhere.
Yeah.
And TikTok, I'm not monetized on. I was trying. Now I'm holding off to see what happens.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
I don't want to put a lot of effort into something because Instagram, I put a lot of effort into that. I got monetized. I was making good money, and then it got taken away from me. Do I want that to happen again?
No, and it's absolutely true. You're back to working for somebody else at that point because they're making money off advertising. They're just saying, we won't give it to you, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and again, I don't apologize for that because it's something that lets me be home with my daughter. I mean, I'm making something that people consume that lets me stay home and be a mom. So yeah, I don't apologize for making money on it.
And it's free for other people. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
When people want to complain about us being on YouTube, we're doing this as our job, whether it's to be free to be with your daughter or because you have a disability and you can't do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
This is our job. We put time and effort and thought into what we create. Even me just sitting down and doing a haul video, I still have to have the knowledge to tell you about each piece of clothing.
Yeah.
And she watched me pick up after a haul today. I have to pull all of them, put them away. But it's free for you guys to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So whether you're doing it to get entertainment or education, it's free to you. Mm-hmm. And then we just get paid. So don't complain about it. And at least Maggie's entertaining. It's not like we're watching her make the same cup of coffee in her kitchen some of these girls on TikTok. It's that same cup of coffee every morning, and that's all their content.
Okay, I know this is awful, and I shouldn't say it because I sell clothing. I can't stand the outfit of the day, people.
The morning coffee, the get ready with me,
yes,
the outfit of the day, and come watch me do a grocery haul and spend $500 on groceries and then eat out every day for 10 times a day. What? This is not relatable. Half the world can't buy groceries right now.
Like, the thing is, I feel I try to be really conscious when I'm showing people pictures of my kid, because it's like, yeah, she's cute. You don't care. Like, after 2 or 3 pictures, you don't care. She's a kid. She's cute. Like, and I just think the same thing of like the outfit you're wearing. It's like, it's great that you love it. Can we be done now? Like, I feel so bad saying that, but like, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people out there with, I call it non-tint.
Yeah.
It's non-tint. If I'm going to spend time watching someone, well, there's some things I watch for not this reason, but most of the time it's because I want to learn something or I want to laugh or be entertained. Now, I do sit and watch animals.
Oh, the only things I follow are dogs. Like,
I have a bunch of hamsters I follow.
Yeah, I follow like 2 people and like 47 dogs. Yeah.
And my favorite right now is Poppy and Paxton. They're on Instagram.
I know that.
And they go, what? I check every night to see if there's a new Poppy. And I watch people cook. But Keith argues with me. He's like, you're doing that for education too, because I love to cook. It's like one of my passions in life. And I'm always trying new recipes. He's like, you're watching people cook because you're getting ideas. And you're learning new recipes. That's not even a waste of time. You're researching your happiness, your food. I'm very food motivated. Speaking of that, tell us about your M&Ms, because I know about your M&Ms.
Okay, so
I know about your M&Ms.
Okay, I was never going to tell a soul about this, but you asked. So I am very food motivated. And one of the ways that I keep myself going is like when I list something, I have an M&M. When I sell something, I have an M&M. And I set them aside very specifically. And I'm going to get this to show you. Like, I have my fake little studio up here. I mean, it's a real studio. So my mother-in-law decorated it because I can't decorate. And she was like, yeah, I put this plant in your little blue vase because I thought it would go well with the colorful rocks. These are M&Ms. These are my secret M&Ms that I keep for when I need them. And like, I was so ashamed to tell her that I was just like, cool, I'm still eating them. Like, I may die of some sort of plastic poisoning, but I'm not going to not eat my M&Ms.
I don't think I could stop at just one.
That's my motivation thing that I'm trying to figure out. And honestly, like, if I could get the Mars Corporation to sponsor me, I would need no one and nothing else in my entire life. Like, that would make me so happy.
Yeah, me too. So if you're listening, both of us, I have a bag of M&Ms in the freezer at all times.
Yes.
And a bag of the Hershey's miniatures.
Oh, the Hershey's miniatures are good. I'm very into Snickers these days.
I always keep teeny ones. Because I'm allowed a treat every Friday night. And I get either 2 tiny candy bars or just a small handful of M&Ms.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you something that, again, I did not plan on sharing with the world. But so the Ghirardelli squares with the caramel in them are the greatest thing in the world, but I eat them like a squirrel. So I eat the outside corners. I eat 3 outside corners and then suck the caramel out. Like, I do this only when I'm alone. I will never allow a human to observe it because I am so deeply ashamed. But like, that is my process. And I will not be interrupted.
Those are good. I had a bag of assorted at Christmas and it had the peppermint bark ones in there too. And the gingerbread. But yeah, I do try. I'm not trying to lose weight. I need to, but I'm also disabled and very limited on my movement I can do. So this year it's just about being more conscious of what I'm putting in my mouth and walking more. And I think that will result in weight loss, but I don't want to have it in my head that you're on a diet, you're on weight loss. I just want to be healthier, more conscious of what I'm eating. We've been walking a lot. So I picked Fridays is my night I get some chocolate. And instead of eating a king size Hershey bar, I have 2 small ones. And then I'm allowed a bag of chips or a snack on Saturdays because that's my horror movie night. Not a whole bag of, I'm talking a small bag. Not like with the family size. Like, whoa. I buy the mini ones. I buy mini everything so I can have in moderation.
What I've always heard is that you just can't hold yourself to perfection. And I think it's the same thing with reselling, where it's like, if you say, I'm going to do $1,000 a month, and then the first month you do 850 and you're like, I'm a garbage person. It's like, then you will fail. Like same thing with that. It's like, just set yourself goals, but reasonable goals, and understand that you will not be perfect, because that's fine.
Yes, exactly. And remember, every time you mess up, you're a human being. Yeah. So if you mess up and you eat chips for 2 days this week, just be better next week. Yeah. There's numerous reasons why you may not lift one day. You might have a migraine. You might have anxiety, depression. You might have pain. You might fall down the stairs. I fell down the stairs yesterday.
I can tell you the best thing for eating healthy is to have a 4-year-old, though, because like, I don't know what that girl does, but if there's a chip bag opening, she hears it. She's like a goddamn bloodhound. So like, the amount of times where I'm like, you can't have Doritos, honey, they're not healthy. Because I'm like, it's like, okay, now, like once you see what you're putting in your body in someone else, then it's like, all right, we're going to have an apple. Like this.
Yeah. I was going to read Christy's comment real quick. My favorite YouTube is Influencer Insanity. There's also one called De-Influenced.
Okay.
And then there is, Dad does something on YouTube. He exposes all of the content creators that are using their children.
Oh, I hate that. Yeah.
What is his name?
All right. I'm Googling that right now. I'm sorry. I want to follow that.
He's like Dad on podcast, or I know his name is Josh. But he literally, like, he'll do a whole hour-long video where he'll show, for instance, we just use me as an example. Say I have 7 kids and I'm exploiting them to make money. He'll show 6 videos in a row where I say 6 different lies. And he, like, just exposes them. It's really good. Josh Dad Challenge podcast for the win.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you. He's great. Like, he called it before that 8 passengers became a true crime. Or I can't remember the name of her thing, but I watched her documentary, and she like was abusing her kids and stuff. Don't exploit your children for money. They're not old enough to make their own choices, people.
I try not to show mine for exactly that reason. It's like, she can't make those decisions yet, and it's not fair for me to.
Yeah. Well, there's other more sinister reasons, but I won't get into them on my channel. But Josh, the Dad Challenge podcast, goes into extensive detail about the kinds of people that are out there using what you think is innocent content for nefarious reasons.
I can tell you, though, I'm absolutely raising my daughter for child labor. Like, one day, she right now, she's 4, about to turn 5, and everything that I'm doing, she wants to be involved, which usually makes me kind of crazy, though I love her. But like, when we're taking photographs, her job used to be she could sit there with her iPad and just spin the mannequin. So I would say like, okay, I need the butt now. And she would turn the mannequin around. But now she likes to take the photos. And I can't wait for the day where she can like do it by herself. And partly because I'm really proud of her and I want her to grow up with an understanding of money and an understanding that like, she doesn't have to work at McDonald's for a boss that she hates. She can make money by herself using her own skills, but also I want the child labor. Like, I am really excited about that aspect too.
So when my boys were younger, all through most of their teenage years, they would go thrifting, and anything they found, we'd split 50-50 of the profit.
Mm-hmm.
And it also taught them it's not just 50% of what it sells. They had to learn about fees, final value fees, and the cost of shipping, and how to choose the cheapest shipping option. And they had to pick things that were enough profit to split 50% with mom.
Mm-hmm.
And we taught them how to thrift. They helped us write our guides, like the research on them. We used to pay them $1 an item to do photographs.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's not a bad idea because a lot of people these days don't know the value of money.
I mean, they really do grow up so fast. And I know I'm saying that to a parent and probably to other parents, like you guys don't need to hear that. But the other day I had her at a little playground, an indoor playground, and there was a fake motorcycle to ride, one of those arcade type things. And she was like, "Can I ride this?" And I was like, "Oh, we don't have money for that today." And she said, "Can I check?" And got my wallet out of my purse, unzipped it, and handed me cash and was like, "Oh, we have it." So like she understands, like she's only 4, but girl gets it.
She gets it. All right. So there's a couple of things I wanted to cover. We make sure that we did it, most of it so far. We talked about your books, how you started reselling, the fact that you create content. In the description box, guys, I did put her YouTube channel and her link tray.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
And we're going to take a look at some of Maggie's Instagram.
Oh, God.
Surprise!
I was unaware of that.
So this is her Instagram. Do you have a favorite?
Oh, God.
You know what I love best about your videos? You're being humorous, but you're deadpanned a lot of the time.
That's me. Yeah, that's me.
Let's do the...
I mean, any of the fashion games, I always think those are fun.
All right, let's do this one.
Yeah, okay. So this was a shoe that somebody sent to me. And my favorite ones are either "What is this?" or "How much is this?" Because there are some things that look completely innocuous and they're like $30,000. I mean, and it's absolute insanity, especially for people like us who are, counting change, who are making, oh, the Ronald McDonald one. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
That's Facebook Marketplace. I'm pointing as though you can see it. Yeah. Effed up Facebook Marketplace. Oh yeah. Okay. So what is this? What is this? And that is your challenge, is by the end of the video, can you tell what that is? And again, I do very little editing. So this is how the product was presented to potential customers.
Okay, so what is it?
Oh, it's going to show in just a second. Because again, from Wolf and Badger, I think it was like $158. And it is a pair of panties.
Oh no, we're PG on this. So yeah, but I mean, it's funny. I love your delivery. You're talking about something completely ridiculous, and you're just like totally serious. I do you have to do more than one take, or can you just be serious like that?
You know what? I almost never do more than one take. Only if like my kid is screaming or my dog is like jumping up on me, because that is absolutely my personality. And when confronted with the true insanity of what I see, it's like laugh or cry. I mean, those are really the options.
I especially like when you have the little mic. You're like Walter Cronkite serious, but you have like a banana hammock behind you.
I feel very blessed that most of my content is suggested to me now. Most of it is emailed to me, and I see some crazy things. Like,
so how did this get started? Tell me the story of how you started doing these.
So the first thing that I did that blew up was because I am a reseller. So most of my content was for other resellers, and it, little traction here and there. I had some followers. I started meeting people, but the first video that really went nuts was I did a series about things that you can find for free and sell on eBay. And that really struck a chord with people. So it's things like old pill bottles that have the labels peeled off, pine cones, just things that are around. And people really, really took to that. And I started to see that, you know, a lot of people are struggling with money and a lot of people need little, you know, help along the way. So then when I was in my regular life as a reseller, finding jeans that I could then sell for $300, it was just like, okay, so I'm going to sell these for $300. I found them in a thrift store for $8. But originally these were, you know, $1,600. Like, it's so disgusting to me that I'm telling people go outside and pick up pine cones when someone else is spending $3,000 on jeans and they don't really even think about it.
Mhm.
So that's when I started Stupid Rich People Fashion. And there are things that are just so outrageous and egregious that I think we can all laugh at it. You know, I don't consider myself like a divisive person because
Mhm.
we can all agree that a couch should not cost $57,000. Sorry.
That's fine. No, I agree with you. Like I always say, even if I ever became a billionaire, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Because it's just so built into who I am. I would still have a beater car. I'd still walk around in pajamas with a hole in my armpit because it's my favorite t-shirt. I mean, there might be signs, like maybe suddenly I would have every single Stephen King book signed, but
well, that's the thing. I mean, I'm the social media coordinator for Sanctuary Village. We're a charity. We're constantly trying to raise money. And one of the hardest things in the world is asking people for money. Perhaps harder is getting it.
Mhm.
So, you know, when I'm filling out 20 pages worth of forms to maybe get $500 from a corporation, but then I see the CEO on their website is wearing a $7 million watch. It's like, how do you not get angry at that? You know, how do you not get angry at that? Thanks, Doug. Yeah. So my mom's least favorite series, and this is completely serious, is fashion or sex toy.
Oh, we're gonna show that on Stars Channel, Doug. Okay. Listen, if this live show gets demonetized, I'm gonna fill out a 400-page form asking Maggie for some money. How come I cannot find one?
I haven't done one recently because she told me to stop doing them. She told me to stop doing them. But all right. There we go. Okay. So the question that I asked is this a sex toy or is this something that American Airlines distributes to their flight attendants to teach them how to smile properly because it represses the tongue and keeps your cheeks open?
I'm going to go with that. I'm probably going to be wrong.
That is the question that I asked my viewers. And there's a lot of examples. And there are like, who is it? Victoria Beckham has a $1 million vibrator necklace. So that's a sex toy. That one is a sex toy.
Oh, good. And
but I like to think
Stars lost half her audience and her monetization.
But I like to think that I can be so convincing because I do have that deadpan, you know, and if you over explain, if it's so specific, people are like, well, you couldn't have made that up. And it's like, you don't know me. Like, so,
yeah.
But I mean, there are some absolutely ridiculous fashion items that it's just like, why is this a butt? Why would I carry a butt on a string as my purse?
Yeah.
And that's also
I've seen some ridiculous things on your Instagram. Now, I do want to go back to one. I think it's been a very long time. I don't even remember when it was. You did one showing, oh my gosh. And listen, I'm not even going to preface this. And if I sound like a bitch, excuse me. I mean to. Let me take my glasses off.
I'm gonna blow my nose.
If you're 17 years old and you're a trust fund baby and you have no idea about the meaning of money, it really frustrates me that they have the attitude that they have. So you did an Instagram where these kids were like, my jacket was 18 racks and this was 15 racks and this was 12 racks and 10. And okay, I'm 40. I'll be 46 years old in May. I'm very intelligent, but I'm not always up to date with the next generation's slang. So I commented and I said, what the heck is a rack? Is that code for trust fund money? And the amount of these young kids who basically responded to me on Maggie's video with, oh, you're just a poor.
Yeah.
You don't have any money. You probably buy your shoes at Walmart because you can't afford a rack on your shoes. And I'm sitting there like, baby, I don't want to spend a rack on my shoes. I'm 46 years old and I know the value of money and having a savings account. Plus, I don't leave the house. So I don't need shoes.
I also really hope that I'm spreading never hate, but maybe a little bit of judgment, because I don't think that we should be celebrating people who spend $18,000 on a single outfit. And I think that part of what my channel exposes, or what I hope it exposes, is just that ridiculousness, that it's like, no one's proud of you. We're laughing at you. Like every Tuesday I go live with a comment section where I just show some designer's collection that they have just come out with, and we talk about it. And usually they're insane. And it's like, yes, of course, Zendaya could wear this and look amazing, but that girl could wear anything and look like, that's not the standard by which
a potato sack.
Yeah, you know, that's not the standard. And I want people to be laughing at jeans that cost $20,000 rather than thinking that's something that I should aspire to. Because something you should aspire to is having a dog park named after you because you gave so much to charity. Like, that's what we should be valuing.
Yeah, or doing something with your social media to where somebody can come back to you and say, I admire you, I respect you, I learned so much from you. Because of you, I do this, or because of you. Mm-hmm. Like, not everyone's going to go out and do marathons or climb mountains. But just remember, even if you're like me and you're borderline agoraphobic, you can still do things to be a better person.
I mean, I want to mention, and I'm sorry, I'm hijacking just a little bit, but the thing that I am the proudest of on my channel is I like to mention charities. I like to mention good causes. And a little while ago, I talked about some absolutely ridiculous fashion. And then I found this woman who was trying to raise money near a hospital near me. She volunteers there in the children's cancer ward. And for about 5 months, she'd been trying to raise $500 to buy costumes to wear into the children's cancer ward, because she says, I have friends who want to go, and, you know, we can't just do like the really cheap Spirit Halloween ones because the kids come up to you and whatever. And I just showed that to my followers, and I didn't give a dime, but within 24 hours, it was not only fully funded, she had 3 times the amount of money she had initially been asking for. And this is the response that I got. She said, for the first time, we were able to have a Black princess come in with us. And I'm going to cry a little bit. She said, a little Black girl jumped out of bed and said, you look like me, and hugged Princess Tiana. And like, I did that, you know, like, I know that sounds really conceited, but it's like, I did that because the average donation was like $10. Like, people just gave between like 5 and 15 usually. It wasn't big donations, but it's like everybody can do good. And I'm a mom in Maryland, and I was able to give that moment to a little girl, you know, and I just felt so incredible. So I think the people who have all of this money, who could absolutely change somebody's life without noticing a difference in their bank account, but you're like, nah, I want the $7 million watch, is so egregious to me. I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, you have to look at it objectively. Me donating a couple $100 is like somebody who works at Walmart donating maybe 10. Mm-hmm. So someone up the ladder for me donating 2,000 is like me saying 200. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm trying to say. So I feel like everybody should be giving back.
Yeah.
I give to charity. I don't really ever say that on this channel because I don't do it for attention or accolades. I don't give to charity, and I don't help the places that I help because I need accolades but everyone can find something that's close to their heart and give money to it.
Well, I'm mostly mentioning it because if anybody who's watching this has a good charity that they want me to talk about, please let me know. Again, refashionedhippie@gmail.com. And I'm so sorry. I have to go get some more water.
Go get some water.
Stop. Right back.
I'm going to address the... I actually think that's like a way of speaking these days, Jennifer. I think it's like a slang. You're just you're a poor. If you're poor, you're a poor. I think I just referred to myself as a fluffy in a video the other day. Not that I am fluffy. I am a fluffy. I just think it's slang. So while she is going to get water, if you guys do know any charities put them over here so Maggie can make note and she can promote them, and help because every person that's on social media that can reach 100 people or 100,000 people or whatever, everybody gives $5. Like she said, it can really add up. You're a squirrel. You're a squirrel. You're squirrely. Squirrely. Okay, so at the end of the show, we're going to give away a free month of List Perfectly. I'm just going to put this out there right now so you guys can get your hashtags in if you want. You can't be an already user. You could have been a user and left and not be using it currently, or have never used it at all. But you can't have a current subscription. We prefer people who haven't tried it so you can get the experience. List Perfectly is amazing. So if you haven't tried List Perfectly before and you want to try 1 month for free, put hashtag List Perfectly. I had to look to see how I set it up. This is what you want to type in. And then at the end, we will draw a winner. Okay. Chrissy is having an auction. Oh, yeah. Chrissy has an autism, and she's coming on my channel. Maybe we can do something. Maybe you can help promote like when she comes on here.
Yeah.
Chrissy. I never wrote her down. Well, when is Autism Awareness Month? April?
I don't know what month it is currently.
I'm going to go back to my messages. I know she and I talked about her coming on the channel, and she was so excited because I'm terrible, but I schedule out like 4 months ahead of time. And
April. Okay. Christy, if you email me some information you would like me to give out, I will make a video for that.
Okay. I actually double scheduled myself that day. Whoops, I got to contact somebody. We'll keep Chrissy because Chrissy is, she has her autism awareness thing and it is that month. So, I'll remind Maggie too, like a week ahead of Chrissy's coming on.
Yeah, please.
And like, I'll make a meme or something. Chrissy, send me some information too, and we can.
Oh, her sale is tomorrow? Okay. I'm going to take a picture of your comment. I'm just because I have no memory. Okay. But yeah, if you have a good charity, please let me know because I think it's really important. I mean, I think a lot of people like watch my reels and they just get mad because like there's a lot to get mad at. But I like to be able to say like, but there are people who are doing good. We can uplift too.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Christy. I will look that up. Okay.
But while you were gone, I was just saying, like, whether you have 100,000, what's that behind you?
Where? Sorry, there's a lot of things.
The 100,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just got this. 100,000 subscribers. Although I hate that it's a mirror because if I angle it wrong, you can see my death pile, and I never want to do that. So it's always very angled.
Congratulations on that.
No, it was absolutely incredible. I didn't even realize, I didn't know you like get a plaque. And let me explain to you how much stuff I will do to get something for free. Like, lure me in with a free t-shirt and I will go crazy for your business. I think it's because I am so cheap in my core. I have to angle this so you guys can't see. Yeah, I think it's because I'm so cheap in my core that it's like, free socks, let's do it. Like,
oh, I'm the same way. Like, I drink a Coke every live show. Listen, if Coca-Cola would just like to send me 4 free Cokes every month, 1 for every Friday, I'll drink it right on camera.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna have 4 free Cokes.
Label out. Yeah, like, yeah.
That's so refreshing.
Such a great taste and so low in calories.
Yeah, it's so fun because I have like 50 million List Perfectly t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
I have more of those than my graphic tees that I love to wear. And a lot of times new people will come into the listing parties and they're like, where'd you get your shirt? And I'm like, I don't know. I have 500 of them. I get them at the events. They send them to me. I like shirts. I live in t-shirts and pajama pants. Unless I have to go outside, then I wear jeans. Well, I wear pajamas to walk around the neighborhood because I don't care what my neighbors think.
Yes. Oh, that is the only downside of getting donations from your neighbors. A lot of my clothing is stuff that I just keep that came in as a donation. And every once in a while, I'll be like walking towards the mailbox and be like, I'm in her pants. And then you have to make that decision of like, do I keep walking or do I turn around and hide in my house until she's gone? And that has happened on numerous occasions.
So I always check first. Anybody out there? Do I want to go outside? There's actually a funny story. So we walk for an hour every day together.
Oh, that's great.
Except in the winter, I have a treadmill. And we go outside in our pajama pants because that's what we work in. And that's what,
Yes.
If we go to the store, we will put pants on. But to walk around my dead end street at the top of a hill where there's like 5 people. So the very last house on the street, I did not know the woman's name for like a year, but I did know her dog's name. Her name is Aubrey.
Mm-hmm.
Audrey, like Audrey Hepburn. And Audrey is a mini Yorkie. And she wears pink tutus. She wears little pink tutus.
I know my neighbor's dog's birthday. I do not know that woman's name. Like, I'm the worst human.
Doug, I'm trying to type, but I'm just going to say it. Yeah, that's pretty funny. It is the last house on the left. Her name is Kathy, apparently, but I never knew Kathy. I knew Audrey. And then 2 doors down from Audrey is this little Lhasa orange creamsicle dog named Augie. And he's always out in the front yard, and I talk to Augie. I don't even know who his people are, but I know the dogs. I know the animals.
Dogs are just the best people, though. Like, that one's not on you.
All animals, actually. Do you know about my Snow White deck out back?
I do not.
Oh, okay. Maggie's never heard this before, so if you've already heard it a million times, I don't care. I'm telling the story. So, my house backs up to the woods, and the deck is on the 2nd floor.
Mm-hmm.
So we've only been moved back in PA and in this place since October of 23. So I started putting food out all the time. Well, now I have squirrels, chipmunks, possums, deer, raccoons, cardinals, barn doves, blue jays, hummingbird, you name it, right? All these animals. And every day when I go out to feed them, I like scatter the food. And I go out and I do the Snow White. It's Keith's entertainment. I go out every morning and go, I scatter the food everywhere. And all my friends come to eat.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
And then when we're on our walks, like if we see a random squirrel, I'm like, hi, friend, there's food and I give my address and I'm like, it's on the back deck and you can go help yourself. It's for everybody. Just be nice and share.
So my ultimate dream is to make enough money that I can like retire and live as a swamp witch in the woods. I just want a little house with Netflix and DoorDash and no one knows where it is except me. Like my husband can come if he wants at that point. Yes.
I'd have to have Kindle Unlimited too, because I like to read as much as I like to watch.
Yes, good call.
And wine. Somebody would have to deliver wine.
I need cheese and sushi.
Cheese and sushi.
Yes. Not at the same time. I'm not a lunatic, but yes.
Yeah, I want to be a swamp witch or like in the wood. Like I always say, I'm going to go off the grid and go live in a cabin in the middle of the woods where I can just feed animals and have 50 million cats and no one will bother me. Dogs, cats, I don't care. A rodent sanctuary. I just like all animals.
It is my dream to be able to foster dogs, but I am really allergic to them. So it is a bad dream, but like that's what I want to do.
I don't think I could because then you have to give them back.
Yes.
And every time your heart would break.
Well, see, my secret plan is to be like building up my social media following so that when I do foster dogs, I can be like, look at this one. Who wants him? And somebody's always like, me, like Patrick Stewart does.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. Because every dog deserves a home. Like, yes. Oh, Cabin in the Woods, 1,000%. Yeah. And yeah, 1,000%. That's all.
Do you know what needs to happen with Cabin in the Woods? Every single movie on that dry erase board needs to be made into a movie.
Why is that not happening? Why is that not happening?
That is the best movie ever.
It is so good.
The twist, the dry erase board, the acting.
Yeah, no, so good. It's so good.
I love that movie.
Anything with that house, I love tiny houses. I like to think that I could live in a tiny house, but then I look at all the stuff I have around me and I'm like, that's not realistic.
If you retired, maybe. I'm very minimalistic in my actual life. It's my reselling
that's the issue.
Takes, the entire first floor garage and half my office. If I was retired and not reselling, I think
the thing is, I never want to stop reselling. Like I legitimately enjoy it. I think it's so much fun to do. And space is an issue, obviously, but like I love that it's all about recycling and eco-friendly and fighting fast fashion. So like I love it. Every time I sell something from Shein, from that brand, I feel like I've sniped one of their sales, and it's like, yes, like it just makes me so happy.
Yeah, I had Tiffy Poo on here, and she said that's a bad word in her house, and I'm like, well, I don't know. If I get it from ThredUp, I'm gonna resell.
Yeah.
Because what am I supposed to do? Put it in the trash?
Well, that's the thing. That's what I tell people is like, if you like Shein, if you like Temu, that's fine. Just don't buy from them. There's so much of it in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Buy from Poshmark, buy from eBay, buy from Etsy, like you can go find it probably for cheaper, and you don't have to give your money to those companies that we know are evil.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I say about a lot of brands and people we won't bring up because I don't want to get into argument politics with people. But there's like people that are troublesome but have good stuff, or maybe you don't like a certain author's viewpoint but you like their books. So don't buy it where you know they're gonna get the money.
Yep.
Buy it used. Go to a used bookstore. Go to and buy your DVDs or your books, or go on eBay. Tiffy Poo. I called her Tiffy Poo. I did. I meant Tiffy Pie. I'm just gonna start telling her she's Tiffy Poo. She's Tiffy Poo. Okay, so I have 3 questions I ask everybody towards the end. And this is a good segue into the first one. I always ask everyone, how do you feel about it when people accuse resellers of being sleazy and stealing from the poor?
Great question. Here begins my tirade. So I'm really happy that I have the background I have in thrift stores, because it is so incredibly not true. Thrift stores only put out 10 to 15% of the donations that they get. So there is so much more stuff than you're seeing. There is a crazy amount of stuff behind those doors that will never make it out. So anything you're buying is a good thing. And I also like to tell people that, like, I don't have a secret reseller discount. It's not like I go in, flash my reseller card, and pay less than them. Because a lot of people like to say thrift stores are for poor people who need them. And it's like, okay, but you're yelling at me in the Goodwill. You're also shopping here. Like, it's like a lot of businesses are kept afloat by resellers. And there is so much stuff in the world. We're not running out of stuff. We're not running out of stuff. So I actually don't mind that question because I love to talk about it. And because of my business model, I'm able to give away a lot of clothing because most of it comes in as donations. So I love helping people when I can. There's always those stories on Facebook of someone had a fire, someone just had a foster kid move in. And I love being able to say, okay, go to my Poshmark, pick out whatever you want. I'll drop it off at your house in 3 days. I'm sorry. Ugh.
Well, you're fine. Drink the water.
I'm like a little germ bubble in here right now. But
so
yeah,
that's interesting to hear that they don't even put it all out.
Oh, they don't put the majority of it out.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is that the stuff that ends up like at the bins or in the landfills then?
No, actually, most of what's at the bins is things that have not sold at the Goodwill in the month-long period that they keep it on the shelves. About 85 to 90% of what goes into a thrift store is baled up and shipped overseas for other purposes, or put into balers or incinerators or sold wholesale because it's not good enough quality.
So, okay, I'm going to try to multitask, you guys.
Do it.
Keith's comics dropped. I got to buy his comics so he can get the listing next week. So I got to put credit card information in while I talk to you. They drop at 6 o'clock on Friday.
I'll do it. I'll cover it.
So a lot of it doesn't go to landfills. You're saying they bulk it up and send it overseas.
So they bulk it up and send it overseas. The issue with that is it's an epidemic that they call dead white man's clothes, because we have increased clothing production by 50%, or we've doubled clothing production in the last 20 years. It used to be that if you bought a sweater, you would have that sweater for the next 10 to 15 years. Now, that's just not the case. with fast fashion, we're producing clothing much more quickly and much more cheaply than ever before in all of human history. And you see that when you go to a store like Forever 21 or like Shein, Fashion Nova, those places that can take something that was just worn at the Oscars, scale it down, make it a little bit more casual, and have it ready for sale within a week. When you buy that, first of all, people were exploited in that process. There's no way that that's not true. People were exploited in that process. If you're buying a shirt that costs you $8, you're probably going to wear it 2 or 3 times, and then you don't really care if you wear it again. You feel like it's worn. You feel like people have seen you in it. If it gets a hole in it, you didn't pay that much. So that's the kind of thing that a thrift store will not put out. We just have more clothing than we ever have before. A British university just finished a study that said that currently on this earth, we have enough clothing to clothe the next 6 generations of humanity right now, if we make nothing else. So things that used to be shipped overseas used to command a much higher value, but now they don't. So those secondhand markets in places like Nigeria, they don't want Walmart clothing either. They want the nicer brands as well, but they're not getting them anymore. So it's not going directly into a landfill, but it's basically we ship it overseas and then it goes into a landfill or into the ocean.
Now, to be fair, people, just telling the people, I do sell Walmart, and I do pretty good at it.
I have no issue. My average sale is $10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think ours is like 15. We have a lot of I learned a new word from when Christy was on. Sub 10. I like saying sub 10. We have a lot of sub 10s because we do like remote controls and comic books and little tiny plushies, and I buy like a Gaylord of plush for $100. The first 10 I pull out are amazing. They're going to sell for 40 or $50. And then the rest are poopies. And so we have a lot of sub 10s, and that really, because you can have all this great stuff and you have a couple sub 10s and your whole average tanks.
Yep.
We are a volume based business.
Me too.
And I will reiterate this again. I do not like to leave my home. So if I can spend $100 to get 100 comics delivered directly to my front door, and Keith can pull out 2 that are going to sell for $50 or $100, good. I'm going to sell the other 98 for $8.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to make a profit. And literally, well, it's probably because he's a nerd. He is a nerd. He's a cute nerd. He can do 100 comics like in 2 hours, unless he really has to research one. But that comes with practice. Don't think everybody, and you got to find your niche. Like, I couldn't do sports. He couldn't do sports. Whatever you're good, like plush and jeans, I'm really fast at. I don't know where I was going with this, but whatever your business model is, and I say this all the time, but your life, your job, your business, your bills, those aren't my bills, my business, my job, my life. If you enjoy going out and digging for the treasures and only selling a couple really expensive items every week, and you have the back to do it, and you like to leave your home, do it. But if you're agoraphobic and disabled, my model's for you.
If you're a cheap little butt, that's me. That's my whole business.
So you say, okay, I'm like accusing you. You say, no, I don't mean it that way. You're a volume-based business, but now you do more content. But before your content blew up and really took off and you were just focusing on reselling, how many active listings did you try to keep?
I try to have 1,000 in my shop at any time. And when I say I'm volume-based, like my favorite thing and the most profitable portion of my reselling business right now is Poshmark shows. I do them every Thursday and Saturday. And what my favorite thing to do is an $8 unboxing. So if somebody gives me 3 trash bags, I will open them for the first time live on Poshmark and just say everything starts at $8. And everybody's happy. Because,
your profit's $5 at that point, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, you guys know how this works. If somebody buys one thing, they've already paid for shipping. They've already spent money on you. So it just makes sense to buy a second item. So what happens all the time is somebody will buy 2 or 3 of those $8 items from me, go into my closet and be like, you know what? I really want these $120 boots. the shipping's already paid for. I want those boots anyway. Let's throw those in too. So it works for everybody because people come for those cheap things. They get to meet me. I get to make new friends. And then if there's something else they're shopping for, they like to throw those in. And I have people who come every single show, and I've gotten really consistent about it. But even if they don't buy some higher end stuff, I still get to get through my inventory without having written descriptions, taken photographs, done measurements. I just show people, you like it, here we go, move on. So that for me is a very turn and burn model where I'm not making a lot of money, but I'm not investing a lot of money either. Oh, hi, Dana. So that has absolutely worked for me, and I love it.
That is a brilliant idea. And my cogs are turning, but I'm thinking, I don't know that Plush would do that well on Poshmark because I get a lot of boxed up Plush.
Mm-hmm.
I buy gaylords of it. I'm currently on a hiatus because I'm doing an inventory. So I'm through my inventory audit and reposition them. That's not the word I want, but I'm thinking I don't know that would do that good on Poshmark. I tried Whatnot before y'all talk. You can open your mouths, and I get snotty because I don't like Whatnot.
Me neither. I tried it. Not for me.
It's not. Here's my problem with it, and I had said this off camera to Rachel Strickland, so I guess I might as well just say it to everybody now on a live show with Maggie. I don't like it because the people are weird, and I am an energy vampire. So if I'm live, I either have to have a guest or a chat for me to feed and suck the energy so I can stay alive and awake. So when I would do these Whatnot shows, I literally could have 20. I would have a good show up. I would have like 20 or 30 people. I only ever did like 4 or 5 shows. I was new. So to me, 20 or 30 was good. Mm-hmm. I would see there were this many people. And when they came in, I would be like, hello, Tinkerbell. Hello, Pokebutt. Hello, Peekaboo. Whatever their names are. Nope, nothing in the comments. Not even a hello or you're stupid. Why are your plushies? Because I did talking plushie shows. Mm-hmm. I would hold up the plush and they would do all the talking. And just crickets and just quiet. And Keith said he would sit here off camera and do the back end and hand me the stuff. And he said he could literally watch me go from the beginning, like, hey, everybody, welcome in. And today, Tutti Frutti's going to have you go. And Tutti Frutti's going to show you Mr. Boop. And by the end, I was just like, all right, this one's $2. Do you want it? And then just drop it.
Poshmark has just started letting you do shows with other people. So you can do like a joint show. And I do them with my friend Kristen, and it makes all the difference in the world because you feel like a freaking weirdo standing there and talking by yourself with no physical responses for, 2 hours. But when you have that other person who's like, oh, that is cute. You're like, I know it is cute. It's so much easier.
Yeah.
It so helps. It so helps.
So let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
This is purely selfishness, folks. This is for me. Yes. I want to know. So if I co-host with somebody on Poshmark, mm-hmm. and like if I co-host with you and I made a sale and then you made a sale, your sale goes to your account, mine goes to my account.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Because Robert and I had talked, if y'all don't remember, Robert's the other big plush seller, my really good friend. He and I had talked about maybe co-hosting on Whatnot, but the problem with that, and I actually did talk off camera with Rachel Strickland for a long time after she was on here because she was really trying to help me with ideas for Whatnot because I told her what my problem was. But with Whatnot, if Robert and I were to co-host, one of us would be the host, and if he sold anything, I have to send him the label. I almost swore on camera. I swear off camera, folks, if you didn't know. I just try to keep PG friendly because I know a lot of my viewers have kids and I want to make money. But anyway, so Rachel's idea, and I liked it, but then I thought that's a lot of trouble. So she said, like, I could do mine for an hour and then do that train thing over to Robert's for an hour. But we would still have to send each other labels and it would just be a hassle.
So the way it works with Poshmark is if they buy something from you and they buy something from him, they count as separate sales. So if they buy 2 things from you, they're automatically bundled, but separate sellers, separate shipping.
So we wouldn't have to fuss around.
Nope.
Would anybody be interested in seeing me and Robert co-host Posh shows? Plush Posh shows. Y'all, have you ever seen an unboxing of me and Robert on the YouTubes?
I have no understanding of plushes. I tried for like a month and nothing. So I'm so impressed at the way you just know what you're talking about.
I mean, just the comedic value. We could give you a run for your money.
Absolutely.
There was one time we ordered these mystery boxes from the same place, and they had little holes. When you squeezed them, little poops came out, right? He had to turn his camera off because he was as red as that dress behind you, and he had snot, and I had like raccoon eyes. It was just. He will be back on in April here, so maybe we all need to gang up on him and talk him in, because he and I were gonna start a podcast this year. This might be a more lucrative and easier way to make quick money and still have we have really good chemistry on camera together. We're really funny. So. Well,
it can really help grow your audience, because there could be people who follow him who don't follow you, and after seeing a show from you, they're like, I want to buy from her. And that's another reason that I love doing shows with my friend Kristen, because we have the same vibe. We're two fun women. We're both moms, and we're both selling for the same reasons. We just want to be able to set money aside for our children. Mm-hmm. So the people who like her tend to like me, and being able to grow that audience has really, really helped. So I would also love, and like I said, I mean this, refashionhippie@gmail.com. If you don't feel comfortable doing your own show, join me for one of mine. Like I'll walk you through it. It's really fun. You'll make some good friends. I love what I do. I really want to help you if I can. Completely mean that. If you haven't tried it, it's not that bad. Your first show is your worst, and then it's fine.
I would consider that. And then I have a friend named Karen. Yes, you're in the chat. Hi, Karen. Her and I both sold jewelry, so that's something her and I could do together. Mm-hmm. I just have to have the energy. You said it seems weird to just talk to yourself, and it kind of is, but I do pre-recorded videos. Mm-hmm. But I feel like when you're doing a pre-recorded, in your head, you're in your office, you're talking to the wall. Or like when you're doing your reels, you're behind a green screen and you're talking to the camera.
Yeah.
But when I go live, if my chat is dead and I don't have a guest,
yep,
I don't have the energy. I in high school and middle school and all through school, I was always like in plays, and I was in drama and acting, and you always had that live audience to feed off of. I think that's where it stems from.
So Kristen is in the chat right now. She just joined. She's Kristen KP on Poshmark. Yeah, please go follow her too. I love her. That's what we're discussing, is the shows that we do. But it helps to have a buddy, because you don't feel so self-conscious. And like, I think we've all been there. There are times where it's like, I need to pee. This show just started, but I need to pee right now. And like, there are times where it's like, hey, talk a minute. Like,
or I have vocal fry. I need to go get some water.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a really good idea. So I too love having guests on here, because I also learn something every time I have someone on here. And I like to say this all the time, but I have to give credit to Dana. Sorry, I had a brain fart. Because this is what she always says. But when you stop learning, you're dead.
Yes.
We're always learning. Nobody knows. You could be a reseller for 20 years, and guess what, honey? Technology has changed, and you still don't know everything. I keep saying honey today, like I'm all sassy. I'm sassy today. I got lobster claw.
I would like to point out, actually, Kristen called me from Goodwill a couple days ago and was showing me the stuff that she got and was like, should I get this? Should I get this? Because I'm more experienced than her. And she held up these red sort of like corduroy velvet pants. And I was like, those seem a little weird to me. I'd put that back. She bought them, took them home, and then found out they were Prada. And it's like, okay. So it's, yeah.
Everybody's got, when I get thread up boxes, because I live in Pittsburgh, or I live in a suburb of Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. I say Pittsburgh to avoid being killed, because I watch true crime.
Yes.
I live near Pittsburgh. But it's definitely blue collar around here. This is where Heinz got its start. There's a lot of factories, a lot of car places and stuff. So, when you go to the thrifts around here, you're going to find American Eagle, Gap, Old Navy, Wrangler. So when I order these thread up boxes, they can come from any of the distribution centers, and I get stuff from all over the United States. And I learn new brands. I just pre-recorded, before Maggie came on, a 50-pound thread up box. And I swear there were 20 things I had to share the screen and comp with you guys.
Yeah.
I love learning. Even if I learn that it's a poop brand, it's still education, because now I know a brand I should avoid. It's still education to learn about what you should avoid.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Maggie, we're getting the last 2 questions here.
Okay, what do we got? What do we got?
She's like, what do we got? Am I
so ready?
I look really fluffy today.
I never go below my boobs camera wise. Like I feel like I like my boobs.
I feel like even those make me look extra fluff. So I always talk about on this channel all the time, and everyone is so sick of hearing about it, but it's so important to hear about it. The importance of work and life balance.
Yes.
If you overwork yourself, you're not healthy. And when you're not mentally in a good place for yourself, you're also not good for anybody else or your business. But you also can't sit at home and fiddle fart around. You got to work. So you got to find that balance. And I talk about this on this channel a lot. I have like entire videos dedicated to routines and schedules. That all being said, what do you do to unwind for fun?
So I actually have kind of an issue not working. So I incorporate my anxiety releases into my work. Like I know at 9:30 my daughter's going to bed. So from 9:30 to 11, I watch a horror movie and list. That is my thing. I'm still getting my dopamine. I'm getting my time to myself, but I'm also getting that work done. And knowing that I have that block of time where I'm going to accomplish something also really helps me because, you know, I'm a person. There are times in the day where it's like, I have 20 things I need to get done today. 3 of them got done, but I still know, but that's my accomplishment time.
Now, before I ask the last question, I have a couple of bonus questions because you're you.
Me. Okay.
Yeah. I got 3 trivia questions for you.
Oh, God. I was told there would not be a gotcha portion of this interview.
Oh, now you've been blindsided.
Oh, God.
What was Jennifer Aniston's first movie?
Leprechaun.
Yes.
That was my daughter's favorite movie for like a month, and I worried about her psychologically because she was 3.
We're going to watch it someday. I actually have all 8 on DVD.
Nice. Nice.
Keith will usually sit through 1, and then he's got to go play World of Warcraft. All right. What was Johnny Depp's first movie?
Wasn't it Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And what was Kevin Bacon's?
Oh. I want to say Friday the 13th, but
yes.
I don't know if it's that great. Well, yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
You got all 3. I have asked other people these questions on like special Halloween shows or Friday the 13th, and they like didn't even know. And I'm like, I know Maggie will know, so I have to ask her.
Oh no, that makes me so happy. I felt smart. I was so scared you were going to ask me some like technical question, and I'd be like, well, what a great question.
Maggie with 3. Oh, Maggie would know. Okay, so what's your favorite horror movie?
That's like asking me to pick a favorite child.
I know, right?
I will always have a fondness for the Friday the 13th movies because that was my lead-in. Like those were the movies that I absolutely should not have been allowed to watch as a child. Yes, thank you. I don't know if it counts, but I think I'm going to say my favorite one is Alien. Well, the Alien series. Technically Aliens. Which is why my daughter is named Ripley, because we wanted her to have a positive female role model.
Mm-hmm.
And there ain't nothing wrong with a lady who picks up a flamethrower to defend herself. So I'm going to say Aliens, but I don't know if you count that as more of a sci-fi movie.
I count that more as a sci-fi.
Technically, yeah. Well, then I revert to Friday the 13th.
Mine is actually Halloween.
I respect that.
See my boyfriend back there on the wall?
Michael's budget, big effect.
But I like Friday the 13th. I like them all.
I mean, who does? Yeah.
And like you, the ones that I've seen a million times over and over that I know, I like to put those on and work.
That's my anxiety thing. Is like yeah. I know the teens are going to get murdered. It's fine.
Whenever I watch a news slasher and there's someone really annoying that doesn't die, I get really frustrated. I'm like, come on, when is Heather gonna die? She's so annoying.
I'm very into the horror comedies now that like are clearly born out of love for horror, like The Final Girls, Cabin in the Woods, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Like
my favorites.
Yeah, because they're making fun of it, but it's like it comes from a place of love, you know. And I think that if you really want to make fun of something, oh, who doesn't love Jamie Lee? She's my girl.
Yeah, I love the comedy. And even in the 80s scary slasher movies, I call those popcorn flicks. They're fun.
Yeah.
They're not seriously scary. You're just watching them to laugh at the dumb people doing the dumb things. I love Scream.
Although that said, my dad had me watch Omega Man when I was 5, and I was messed up for like 2 months. Like that one, I bear psychological scars from that.
I have psychological scars from Psycho. I still have issues. Like Keith took my car in for an oil change today, and I had to shower alone in the house. And I'm like, do I need to see a therapist if I'm locking the door and putting dragging a chair into the bathroom to put under the?
That's just good sense.
It's just good sense.
Yes.
What else was I going to ask you? Oh, I was going to remind you. So Sunday is St. Patrick's Day, y'all. So watch Leprechaun.
Yes.
You got to watch Jennifer Aniston when she's 18 years old with brown hair.
The director said that she never forgave him for casting her in that role. It haunted her.
I don't think she would have got her part in Friends if she didn't.
I agree. Also, girl looked fine. Like,
she was cute.
she came out looking good on that.
I mean, she's actually had a little meat on her at that time, and brown. I like darker hair, but that's me. She's still pretty. She's always been pretty. No shade on Jennifer. Yeah. And then Tuesday, I want y'all to know that Tuesday marks the anniversary of Jeepers Creepers. So 23 years ago in 2001, on March 19th, Jeepers Creepers was released. Every 23 years in the spring, for 23 days, he gets to eat.
That is my daughter's favorite movie right now. And again, perhaps the college money will go to a therapist.
Yeah, maybe. So if y'all are looking for something to watch Tuesday while you work or after dinner, whatever, the original Jeepers Creepers with Justin Long is so good.
When they put the body down the pipe, the first like 10 minutes, that scared the crap out of me.
Oh, and the end is just so sad.
I mean, can we also talk about the absolute crush that I have on that sister?
I think I crushed on them both.
Yes, fair. Yes.
To be honest. And then like there's like this joke in the horror community, guys, about Justin Long. Oh shit, if he's in a horror movie, something bad's gonna happen to him. Every time. Have you seen Barbarian?
Oh yes. Duh.
What was the one? The Tusks? The walrus?
I actually refused to watch that. I read the description on Wikipedia because I thought that would mess me up. Anything too gory, It was
pretty good. It wasn't that gory. It was more
really like I don't do like Saw and Hostel, and I just
LOL Doug. I think everybody had a crush on both.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up with the last question. And then there's one more thing after that. See, I just keep lying. There's 3 questions, but wait, I'm going to throw in bonus. The last question I usually do ask, though, is it kind of relates to asking you about your interests and what you do for fun. So what you doing this weekend?
This weekend, I'm actually really excited. I should have brought them and I didn't. My ultimate thing, the only thing that I really relax with that isn't work related or kid related, is refashioning clothing. I love to take the pieces that are just too boring, like a plain black t-shirt. That's not going to sell. If it did, it wouldn't be worth the money. So I like to refashion stuff. And I recently tried some bleachy stuff. Ooh, and I loved it. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm sorry. I'm so in love with this thing.
No, I'm getting into crafting now that I actually host a crafting party. So I'm moving beyond my diamond dot paintings, and I'm looking at new things to do.
Well, I made something that I absolutely fell in love with, and I just think it turned out so well that I went and bought some more stencils to try it with. And of course, I can't. I'm going to stall for 50 seconds until I get to this.
So for 50 seconds, we'll talk about how many of our famous movie stars started in horror.
Yes, but I made some stuff with bleach that I love, so I went out and bought some more like patterns to try and bleach stuff with, because I like to do simple edits that everybody can do in their own home. Like, I'm not one of those people that's like, great, now go to your $45,000 serger machine. It's like, people don't have that. So I like to upcycle clothing, and I got some new stuff, and I'm going to be bleach painting this weekend, and I'm really happy about it. And I also have a lot of work to do. And Kristen is texting me. if you guys have not joined our Facebook group, Squirrels Who Thrift, please join us on there. It is a group that is all about thrifting, finding good places, and just crafts that you can do. Okay. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. It didn't work. I'm gonna go to another thing. I should have saved a picture and I didn't. I'll find it. But yeah, Squirrels Who Thrift, and just about giving tips to one another, finding good stuff. Did you join it? Oh, I mean, you shared it. Oh, you're so nice. Oh my God.
I shared it, and I'm answering your questions. I live in PA. I sell everywhere.
Okay.
And I do agree to talk thrift, not trash. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know about your group. You're in my group.
We just started it like a week ago. But okay, so this is what I made.
Awesome.
Because I got a metal wall decor piece from at home, just laid it down on a hoodie, and then sprayed bleach around it, and it came out beautifully, and I love it. So
she's dying.
I am dying a little bit. I did some more experimenting with other clothing, and it came out gorgeously. So I'm really excited. I'm going to be doing that, and you'll be seeing more of that on my I'm so sorry, I'm losing it. You'll be seeing more of that on my channel. I'm going to be showing that over this weekend, assuming everything goes according to plan. And if you want to join me on refashionedhippie.shop, that is my online thrift store. So you can find my merch, you can find the upcycle pieces that I've made, and you can just find the clothing that I have for sale. Now, I say that I am currently building the website, but still.
And that's in your link tree?
Yes.
Okay. Her link tree is down below.
Yes.
You can get to everywhere. But I did put up a separate link for her YouTube because, like she mentioned, that's where she makes money. So, yes, you can look at her Instagram and you can watch her over there, but you can watch the same content.
I like your money. I would like to have it. Please give it to me, and I can trade it for goods and services.
And it's free for you to watch in either place. So watch where Maggie can make some money. She's got to put food on the table, and she's got a kid to take care of, guys.
And I'm live every Tuesday at 7 Eastern Standard Time, where we just talk about bad fashion. So please join me. It's a lot of fun. I will be less sick next time.
Less sick next time. Okay, the last thing. Do you have any words of wisdom for the people?
This is going to sound so dumb, but truly be yourself. And that I mean that in a business sense. If you don't like selling plush, don't sell plush. If you love selling men's Wrangler jeans, do that. And if you're trying to build a social media following, don't put on a character. People can tell, and it is painful. I've gotten this far literally just talking about stuff that I think is funny, and people have joined in. But really, if you set this up for things that you don't like, you're going to lose interest and you're not going to want to do it anymore, even if you are making money. I've heard that story so many times from resellers where it's like, I had this thing that made money, but I didn't like it. So find your passion and figure out how to share that with people, and you will be successful. And if I can help, refashionedhippie@gmail.com, please let me know.
She can't say that enough, but she really means it. I've heard from other people good things. I know you. I like you, but other people have mentioned her, so she's not just blowing hot air of our butts.
I'm like amazing. I'm so charitable. No, but like really, I love what I do. And I didn't, when I started this, I didn't know that there was a reselling community at all. I learned about that from Facebook and List Perfectly. So I want to do that for other people, what was given to me. I really do.
Yeah, I actually did this alone, just real quick. It's a little story time, and then we'll go. Keith built this business up for himself, and then I got hurt, so I took over because I couldn't work. And I didn't know there was community. I didn't have friends. I didn't know what I was doing. So I just would go to the bins and the dollar days, and I would buy 500 pieces for $500 and bring it home and literally learn that way. This is poop. This is bread and butter. This is money brand. That's where my guides came from. Just like you, I kept keeping information down for me. And then eventually Keith's like, why aren't you selling these? Like, you literally were in the trenches learning this. You didn't just make this up, that this is a good brand. And like, you went and spent money and learned that these aren't worth it. So I didn't really have anybody for the longest time. And then I made a couple of friends, and then I found List Perfectly at eBay Open, and now it has lots of friends. But if you're not part of List Perfectly, if you are part of List Perfectly, go to listing parties, join their Facebook group.
Yep.
Join my Facebook group, join Maggie's. If you're not a part of List Perfectly, get on Instagram, join somebody's Facebook group, talk to somebody. This is a lonely, and I work at home with my boyfriend, but I can't just have him all the time. You know, and most people don't have a business partner. So find someone to talk to, hang out with people.
Yeah.
Even if you're reclusive, you can be part of things here.
And you have more to teach than you realize. Like whatever step in the process you're at, there's somebody below you who would love your help.
Mm-hmm. And somebody always is learning something. Like I'm learning jewelry now. I don't know the first thing about jewelry.
Yeah.
All my friends are stepping up to teach me. It's great.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm going to leave you guys with what I say every week, but make sure you take some time off this weekend just to walk your dog, read a chapter, watch an episode. Spend some time with your friends, your family, and your pets because they're most important. And don't get burnt out. Take that time off. Find that balance. I will see you guys next time. If you're watching live or the replay, I really super appreciate you. Our time is money, and you just spent an hour and a half with me, Maggie, so we really appreciate you. Maggie, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Okay.
Bye, guys. I will see you next time.